check out what I got for you today is the Victrix Gambit dual core controller. Looks like this controller's got a Dolby Atmos license included. This is an Xbox controller, but it'll work on your PC as well. This controller looks like it's pretty modular. You can interchange the analog sticks, the gates itself. Wow, that's interesting. And then the D-pad. Alright, what do you say we crack it open? Ooh, this is always the best feeling when you first open up a box. Check this out. It comes with this nice fancy case. Before we get to the controller itself, let's take a look at what else is in the box. Dolby Atmos, a guide. I think that's it. The moment of truth. Wow. I've got to say the color scheme is on point. So we got a really long USB-C cable here. Alright, and the controller itself. Oh, hey! It comes with extra faceplate. You know, I think the purple one is kind of cool, but it looks a little toyish. But it's got this nice rubbery, soft plastic feel to it though. What is this? What is this? Yeah, I think the material on this one is nicer, but this one looks better. Man, I'm torn. Man, look at this. It kind of flops around. It's not really secured. Alright, let's see. So you take that out. There we go. Check this out. This is actually completely rubber. It's kind of cool. I don't think I've seen something like this on a controller before, actually. Ooh, check this out. It's clear. You can even play it like this, I think. Look, so technically, you have 3 faceplates. You can have the clear one, the rubbery one, or the black and white plastic. Alright, let's put this guy on. Okay, it's magnetic. I think I prefer this look the best. In terms of extras, we've got an interchangeable back pedal here. Yeah, I guess that's a play on word for victory, right? I'm Victrix! Oh, check this out. So these are the gates that they were talking about. These are thumbstick gates. We've got a convex PlayStation-like thumbstick. And over here is a concave with a little target symbol on it. And this is super tall. Oh my. Check out this weird looking D-pad. This may be good for a slider, but I'm not sure how accurate it is because it's kind of hard to feel around. Okay, you know, this controller's on the bigger side. And I have huge hands and really long fingers. So this fits me very well, but I'm not sure if you have smaller hands or if you're a little bit younger. I'm not sure how this will fit you. Ooh, look, the D-pad has different symbols on them. That's cool. You know, this controller is very busy. There's a lot of things going on here. It's like this controller just came from the future. Yeah, the face buttons feel really nice and clicky. They feel really good. The D-pad is a little mushy compared to the face buttons, but they feel like they spring up pretty quickly. This guy, let's see if we can swap it out. How the hell do you take this guy out? It doesn't come off. Oh, there we go. Oh man, I almost lost it. There we go. Can't wait to test it out. Yeah, but for now, let's stick with the default cross D-pad. Alright, the thumbsticks feel good. They're pretty reachable. The tip of the thumbsticks doesn't have any sort of grip or texture to it. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the PlayStation design. These thumbsticks actually have quite a bit of resistance. Yeah, so if you want precision, I guess that's a good thing. Whoa! Check out how huge the triggers are. It's nicely textured for both of these buttons, the shoulder buttons and the trigger. But this thing is gigantic. Alright, shoulder buttons. You can click on both sides, which is nice. I think the controller itself feels really ergonomic in my hands. And on the back we have paddles. You know, I gotta say, this is probably the best implementation of paddles that I've seen yet. Nothing is sticking out, nothing toward the middle. See, it's just part of the handles. I like that a lot. I feel like all paddles should be like this. And I think the switch right here is to pop out the paddles. Oh, yes. Here we are, so you take that out. And this one only has 2, so if you prefer just 2 buttons, you go with this one. There we go. Are these trigger locks? Oh yeah. Sweet. To undo the trigger locks, you gotta slide this over and hold it in place. Then you press down and release it. Now it's unlocked. And I've also just learned that there are actually 5 levels of trigger locks on this guy. So you can press it to whatever position you like. Let's say you want it halfway, right? Then you release it. Then there we go. That's halfway. Yeah, for our purposes, I'm gonna just turn it on all the way. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so here are the gates. I think I'm gonna swap it out. How do you swap it out? Alright guys, I don't think I'm able to remove the gates. I even read the instructions right here, and I don't want to break the faceplate, so we're gonna just go with the default one. Alright, what do you say we plug this bad boy in and take it for a test drive? Alright, let's see here. Let's try out a combo. Oh yeah, that's good. So immediately I noticed that these buttons in a D-pad as well, they spring up really quickly. So very nice job. Let's test the double taps here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so good. Ah, yes. The left trigger doesn't work. Look at this. Okay, alright. I don't know what that was, but now it's working now with the trigger lock on. Maybe this slider here was stuck or something. Yeah, the diagonals are really good. You know, I think the D-pad is a perfect size. It's not too big and it's not too small. You're able to slide around it pretty smoothly. Yeah, I'm able to do diagonals pretty precisely, and if I want to just push one direction, it's big enough where my finger doesn't accidentally touch the other one. Alright, circular movements. So circular motions on this D-pad is good, but I wouldn't say it's great. And the reason being is the surface of this controller is a little rough. You see my fingers having a little bit of a hard time going across it, but I do know some folks prefer sticky D-pads. I actually prefer smoother D-pads so I can slide my fingers around. Alright, you see how gigantic these triggers are, right? And it protrudes out pretty far. Each of the sides of the triggers kind of stick out too much, so naturally your hands kind of squeeze in a little bit, right? And as you can see there, when I squeeze in, my index fingers accidentally hit these triggers very often, actually. I think this is something you can get used to, so perhaps maybe you can adjust over time and keep your index fingers away from the triggers, but right now I find that I accidentally hit these buttons quite a bit. To map the back paddles, you press and hold the paddle and this function button together until you see an LED flashing. Alright, so it's flashing, so I want to program this paddle to down. You press down, you see it's gonna flash. So now this paddle is down. Alright, let's test the back turn backdash. The 2-button paddle is pretty stiff, so I'm not able to do the back turn as quickly as I usually can. Let's see if the 4-button one is better. I wonder if I can do this in the middle of the game. Alright, we'll find out. Hopefully I don't break my controller. Put this in. Yeah, it's definitely lighter with the 4-button one. The 4-button paddles, I feel like you're gonna accidentally press the wrong button pretty often just because they're so close together, and the gap here is pretty small. I do wish there's more of a separation or a gap between these two buttons, or maybe one of them is more raised than the other one so that you can tell which one you're pressing. What I fear is your middle finger may slide down slightly and then you're gonna hit both buttons at the same time. But if you're able to kind of control yourself and then kind of just leave it there, I think you'll be okay. Alright, what do you say we change out the D-pad? Here we are. Wow, that looks so cool. Diagonal. Oh, dang, okay. Oh, I kind of like it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so circular movements are a lot better with this D-pad. And the reason being is this surface is smooth. Whereas with the cross-shaped D-pad, when you slide your finger around, these edges kind of dig into your thumb and it slows your finger down. With this guy, you don't have that problem. It's just like one smooth motion. Oh yeah. Let me see if the double taps are still good. Yep, still good, still good. You know what? I think I may stick with this D-pad. And it looks so cool too. This is a very unique looking D-pad. I haven't had a D-pad that looks like this. It's literally just a diamond. And it works really well. Alright, let's see if we can get into a match. Alright, so I'm not able to find a match right now. We'll just play against the computer. Damn, I'm getting my ass kicked. Oh shit. You know, one thing that's good about playing against the computer is it's lag free. You don't gotta deal with the damn lag. This plate D-pad is good, but it's not perfect. There are some occasions when I want to do a diagonal, but because this thing is so big and you can't really feel your way around, I accidentally do something else. So perhaps over time you can get used to it, but right away, it's not as accurate as I would like it to be. So let's switch to the cross-shaped D-pad to see if we can fare better. Man, what a cheating AI. Okay, so the cross-shaped D-pad is definitely more accurate and easier to press for sure. You do have to sacrifice circular motions a little bit, but it's doable. So I think between the two, I actually prefer the cross-shaped D-pad better just because it's more accurate. The biggest problem I have with this controller so far is the gigantic triggers. Golly. So first of all, it's really easy for you to accidentally press them. And secondly, they're not as responsive as I would like them to be. Maybe the app can change that, but there are times when I press them and then nothing happens. So they're going for a trigger that's very similar to the PS5 triggers. But this is an Xbox style controller in terms of shape. You're trying to fit a PlayStation trigger onto here. The Xbox triggers are big, but as you can see, it's kind of curved in so you don't accidentally press them. You see how this guy kind of sticks out too much? So this trigger right here should have curved in like this. Or if they're gonna use this style of trigger, it's gotta be smaller, more like this. Alright, here's the app. You can do diagnostic and you can test all of the buttons to see if they're working. Here you can remap the buttons to whatever buttons you want, it looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, here you can choose between the 2 paddles or the 4 paddles. Just click on it and you click the button that you want, so that's pretty simple. I like the fact that this controller has both the app and you can remap it through the use of the function button. In this tab here, you can set the joysticks however you want. Right on this tab here, you can adjust the sensitivity or the dead zone of the triggers. If you're planning to lock your triggers, so maybe you don't want to have any dead zones. Or if you're planning to have your trigger fully depressed, so maybe you want to have a little bit of a dead zone, you can edit the EQ for your controller. Let's check it out. Oh, sweet. There's 3 profiles. Right, on this tab here, you can turn the vibration on and off, or the strength of it. This kind of bugs me. I cannot go to 20%. It's from 19 to 23. It's all odd numbers. What the hell? Alright, so impressions of the controller. I think this is a really cool looking controller. I really enjoy the color scheme of this controller. It's just very cyberpunky, you know? I think this is a great controller for maybe first person shooters. But as for fighting games, there's a few things here that I don't like. The biggest roadblock for me are these huge ass triggers. Look at them. Oh my god. These triggers cause accidental inputs because they protrude out too much. So aside from these triggers, everything else is solid about this controller. I like the positioning of these paddles a lot. The face buttons are the best part of this controller. They're clicky and tactile. And the D-pad is very good. They're a little bit on the heavier side, but I think you can get used to it, maybe wear it down a little bit over time. And the controller just looks badass, you know? Check that out. How cool is that? It's very cyberpunky. Alright guys, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and take care now.